Jai Hind to all of you. I'm Vikrant Singh Tomar of class 9D, and this is gonna be a brief explanation about the model that we have created on the topic drought and water shortage. It is a subtopic from the topic disaster management. It was introduced us to by our SST teacher, Mrs. Rashmi Yadav, for the art integrated project, and my team members Aryan, Usnik, Neha, Rajni, Sonam, Deeksha, and Laksh have done a lot. There is a PPT from where you can learn more about drought and what it causes. There is also a file which has a beautiful writing and which can introduce us to what it causes and certain things that has happened. And you can also enjoy beautiful drawings created by our team members on the topic drought. And even Usnik is working on the virtual model which you can see. Firstly, have an overview of the model, and then I'm going to explain you in the brief about model and what are its function. And then my team members are also going to give their opinions and thought on the topic drought and water shortage. Please have a look for the overview. In the model, I have tried to depict a great mountain as the range of the mountain hills that are present as the physical factors of our continent, of our Indian subcontinent. As we all know that when the monsoon enters the southernmost point of our country, it gets divided into two equal parts. First one enters from the western side and the other enters from the eastern side. The western one enters from the Mumbai, Maharashtra side and goes and gets diverted due to the presence of Aravalli hills and also due to the presence of the Coriolis force of the earth and moves towards the northeastern side. That's why rain-bearing clouds are not able to reach the drought-prone area or the semi-arid regions such as the Gujarat, Kutch, Rajasthan area, and they only bear drought areas. And I have also added some green plants or the green vegetation behind the mountain as to represent where the clouds are, they only reach there and have a moist climate present at their side, and only green plants are present there on their own side. And when the clouds are not able to reach the other side of the hill, there is a drought prone area present and the plants and all the trees that are present there are gonna die due to the lack of water in them. If we come on the other side of the hill, we can also see that there is a young lady standing next to the well and seeing praying to the water god that please give us rain, the well has dried up. The well has dried up because of the human causes, as we know that if there aren't going to be any rain, there aren't going to be any clouds in presence of the drought prone areas, there is not going to rain and the water coming from the rain is not going to seep into the earth and will not get collected underground. And that's the same water from the underground that is extracted from the well and hand pumps. And even 1 or 2 ounces of water was left into the well, it would have dried up due to the presence of sun and the scorching heat present in that harsh climate of semi-arid regions. You can also see that there are 2 ladies sitting and chatting about what their conditions are. One lady in the orange sari is saying that there is only left a limited quantity of grain to survive, because they also know there is not gonna be any good cultivation this year due to the presence of scorching heat and that many low area. And if they have planted any seeds for the cultivation, they would not have got any good amount of water to irrigate those crops and have food from them. And you can also see that an old lady is saying that it is only the cause of government because they are not doing anything. It is a wrong saying, because the government also knows that this is the cause of humankind that has led to such circumstances. There are gonna be so many disasters, every place disasters. Drought is one of them. As we can see that if there is no water left, the land is gonna dry up, it will gonna crack, and the plants are not gonna survive. Even the humans are not gonna survive due to the lack of water and food in them. If you come more further long, you can see a man standing and he's saying that we would have to leave our hometown to survive, because he also knows that they are living in such circumstances that they are not gonna survive. They don't have enough water to drink. They don't have enough grains to eat. They also know that their kids are not gonna survive one day without food or water, and there is such harsh conditions that their kids might get any diseases. There is also an old woman who will also die due to such circumstances because she is an old age woman. We can also see a difference between the vegetation in three areas. Behind the hill where the clouds are present, we can see there are evergreen trees which are green due to the presence of moist climate behind the hill. And when we come on the other side, there are plants which are dying due to the lack of water, because there has not been a one amount of rain that they can derive from the water. And if you come closer to the hut and slum area, you can also see that the trees have dried. They have died because of the lack of minerals and water from the soil that they haven't derived, and they will also die soon and they will fall. In my opinion, these circumstances can lead to a person that will die. If we see that if a person living in a town or city who lives and there is a lot of expensive facilities for him, he is living a luxurious life and he is enjoying everything. Because if we send him to this many harsh conditions, he is not gonna survive a day. We should respect these people who are living in such conditions, and even we want to help them by organizing many programs such as Antodaya Anna Yojana, which was started in Tamil Nadu and gave many grains to the people. The government has to introduce many plans for the people who are living in these areas, or have to move them from these drought prone areas to a very facilitated areas where they can survive with their kids and enjoy a happy living life. Changes are important in every phase, because if they are not gonna change, if they are not gonna move from that drought prone area to another area where there is a happy living life, where they can get a good job, where they can find good food grains, where they could find a lot of water, plenty of water, that on that their kids and they can survive, and also they can also find a good doctor, because due to the lack of water and food, their kids can be malnourished, or they can even die due to some diseases such as Ebola or any other. It is only the human cause that has led to such circumstances. We all know that there are disasters going on every phase. There are water, oil spills in the seas, there is landslide, there is earthquake, there is also these drought area. Because of these only, when the ground is drilled, they are finding minerals, all the human for their own needs. They are not thinking about our planet Earth, which is giving us all the things. They are not thinking about the nature, which is providing us all things. We should also see that our ancestors who have lived for a long time and have only derived everything to survive from these forests and nature, we should respect and cherish them. In the last, I would only like to say that we have to save our planet to survive our own selves.
The best thing about the evergreen forest is that they never face drought. Jai Hind all of you. This is Sneha Tomar of class 9th D. I'm very glad to get this opportunity to speak something on drought and water shortage. So, drought is an atmospheric condition when there is scarcity of water due to the decrease in annual rainfall of an area, territory, region or country. When there is decrease in annual rainfall as it need persist for a longer period of time, then it results in various uncomfortable position for the nature and for the living beings. Though rain is a natural phenomenon to occur, so when there is any discomfort arises from the nature which disturb the life forms of the people living on the earth is termed as natural disaster. And drought is also a natural disaster, as it also destroys a lot of forms. It is all because of the greediness of the people who kills a lot of trees and leads to destruction, and also because of the people who are not giving importance to the water and wasting water continuously without thinking about the people who are not having a single drop of water to drink. Now, I hand over my speech to Aryan Kumar. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Good morning everyone, I am Aryan Kumar of class 9th D. My content is Consequences of Drought. First, water scarcity. Water scarcity is the lack of fresh water resources to meet in the standard water demand. Humanity is facing the water crisis due to unequal distribution, resulting in some very wet and some very dry geographic locations. Second, depletion of the water table. The source of groundwater is rainfall, but when the water table goes down, then it is called the depletion of the water table. It is caused by the deforestation, overpumping, and the shortage of rainfall. Then third is low agricultural productivity. When there is the scarcity of water, then it disturbs the irrigation system in the fields, which affects the production of the crops in the field and low agricultural productivity takes place. Then fourth is famine. When there is low productivity of the grains leading to the shortage of the food among the people of the area which is hit by the drought. Now I would like to hand over my speech to the Sonam.
It was raining on a drought field, not from the sky, it was raining from the farmer's side. A very good morning to one and all from the bottom of my heart. It's my pleasure that I am here. Right now, I would like to introduce myself. This is Sonam of class 9D. PS Gwalior is in front of you. As Aaron has handed over his speech to me, so now it's my turn to tell you some more about our topic. I will tell you how we can contribute to avoid worst conditions like drought. Drought is nothing but the opposite of floods. Whereas in floods there is excess amount of water, and in droughts there is shortage of water. So from this statement we can conclude that water plays a major role in the cause of these natural disasters. So to prevent drought, we can follow some important steps like, first, we can minimize the deforestation as it is the main cause of drought. Second, we need to be very careful while using water to prevent ourselves from the wastage of it. Being mindful of the amount of water we use each day can be a powerful way to prevent droughts. We can choose a water efficient irrigation system such as drip irrigation for our crops. We also need to be very protective in these conditions by making our coming generation aware about the causes of drought so that they will be cautious while indulging in the activities like drought. At last, I just want to hand over my speech to Usnik, and thank you very much for giving your time.
Thank to all of you. Today I am Usnik of class 90 is going to explain the model of rainwater harvesting which I made. First of all, please see the overview of my model. In simple words, rainwater harvesting is the collection and storing of rain rather than allowing it to flow away. In this method, rainwater is get collected from a roof-like surface and then the water is redirected into tank. Now I will tell you the 5 advantages of the rainwater harvesting. First, rainwater harvesting reduces the causes of flooding and erosion. Second, it reduces the water bill of your house. Third, it can be used for the non-drinking purposes. Fourth, it reduces the demands on groundwater as digging a well is more expensive than the rainwater harvesting. Fifth, in this method we get unchlorined water which is better for your plants in your garden. Now I am going to hand over my speech to Diksha.
Jai Hind ma'am and my dear friends, I am Diksha of class 9th D. For every drop of water you waste, you must know that somewhere on earth someone is desperately looking for a drop of water. Drought is a requiring natural disaster, so we need to make control over our greediness by stopping the activities like deforestation, which is the main cause of the drought. And we also need to prepare ourselves to get unaffected or minimally affected by the activities of the conservation of water by rainwater harvesting, so that we can feel moreover less affected in such kind of natural disaster like drought. Thank you. Now I would like to hand over my speech to Lakshya.
Jai Hind to all of you. My name is Lakshya Kumar from Army Public School, Morarkand, Gwalior. To provide immediate relief to farmers, Government of India has taken many steps under disaster management guidelines. Central government encourages states governments technologically and financially through programs such as Accelerated Irrigation Benefit Program, Command Area and Development Program, and Watershed Management Program to manage and develop the natural resources. Measures taken includes diesel subsidy to farmers in affected areas, enhanced seed subsidy to farmers, interventions with appropriate inputs to regenerate water-stressed horticulture crops, implementation of additional fodder development programs, crop contingency plans in the events of late monsoons, SMS services and television programs to educate the farmers, development and management of socio-forestry and agroforestry, development of livestock and dairy industry, reconstructing of cropping patterns, protection of catchment areas of rivers, water management through construction of canals, dams and barrages. These were the steps taken by Indian government to provide immediate relief from the areas which was affected by drought. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you all of you for being here and watching the explanation of a model. Thank you very much and have a nice day ahead.